top 10. Top 10 best movies of 2023. Are you guys ready? Let's get into it. What's at number 10? Roll film. Yes, number 10 is The Exorcist Believer. Why did I choose this movie to be in the top 10? Well, first off, I liked it. I saw it twice. The first time I saw it, I wasn't sure. I was seeing some reviews and people were just hating on it, just bashing it. And so I was like, wait a minute, let me go check this out for myself for a second time to make sure I'm not, imagining things. And saw this a second time and I enjoyed myself. I liked it. I liked the story. I liked the characters. I liked the creepiness. I liked the whole, the little gory, not gore, but I liked how evil and manipulative the demons inside of the girls were, how they played on people's emotions and their fears and their hopes and dreams and their past sins. I love that kind of stuff, so I just enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed it. I would say I get why a lot of people didn't like it. It has a lot of cringe scenes in it. There's scenes where, the woman from the original Exorcist, she's talking to the main character, the brother, about Reagan and about, these different religions. And it is cringy. It's like on some borderline assembling the Avengers of the different religions. It is, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys, it is cringy, but once you get over that and you just focus on the story and the characters, it can really pull you in. And it's very creepy, like the last scene with the one of the girls getting pulled into hell, man. That, spoilers, sorry, spoiler alert, but that scene alone was creepy. So that's at number 10. Let's get in to number 9. Roll film. Yes, at number 9, we have The Five Devils, this French film that came out this year. Why I like it, why it's on the top 10, it's pretty easy. The actors, the main girl, Adele, I cannot pronounce her last name at all, so I'm not going to try. She played in Blue is the Warmest Color. I love her as an actress. She's great. So once I saw her in this, I had to check it out. The other actors are great. The child actor, standout. I'm sorry I forgot her name, but standout actress, really good. I love her little presence in the movie. But yeah, The Five Devils, it's a very interesting movie about people who, you know, had hopes and dreams of being somebody and having a career, and their decisions that they made, of course, altered their roots in life, and now they're just stuck with their own decisions that they made from the past, whether it's getting somebody pregnant or, you know, burning down a gymnasium, just, you know, crazy stuff, but, you know, or not, you know, or giving up that true love that you once had for, you know, something else. So it's a really good film. I love the photography of it, the colors. It's just a good film, man. I love it. It's called The Five Devils, and it's one of those French films that really, you know, make you reflect on your own life. The French, I notice, I watch a lot of French films, and I noticed the French, they're almost like poets. They love poetry and poems, and, you know, really making life one huge, you know, metaphor for just love and hate and all kind of stuff. So the French, they love their poetry, and they love to read, you know. But yeah, the movie's great. I love it. It's at number 9, and we'll see what's at number 8. Roll film. At number 8, that's right, Rye Lane. Now, why did I choose Rye Lane? Again, obviously, I liked it. But Rye Lane is such a unique film. I was contemplating and thinking, I don't think there's a film like Rye Lane where the main players are black, all black. And, you know, the story isn't about, you know, their crackhead parents, or, you know, they're in drugs, they're selling drugs, they're drug lords, they're pimps, they're hoes. It's it's one of the few films I think I've ever seen where the characters in the movie who are black are just characters in the movie who happen to be black. The movie doesn't focus on their blackness. It doesn't focus on, you know, how hard it is being black in the world. It's a movie where you follow a young man and a young woman who are struggling with relationships, with trust, with trust, with sharing their, you know, flaws with each other. It's just about two human beings who happen to have pigmentation that is of the darker hue, you know. But seriously, it's like, though this movie is a great example of what I plan to do in the future when I make films. I want to make films where the characters who happen to be black are just characters in a story that we follow. And it can be horror, it can be sci-fi, it can be fantasy. But the story isn't so obsessed or focused on them being black. It's just them being characters. And so I love that. There's a director. She made a movie, a French director. I don't know her name, but she made a movie called Girlhood. And she was quoted saying, I made this movie not about black women, but I made this movie with black women, and that's a huge importance and something to truly understand. Like, because her film Girlhood follows this young black girl in France, but that's something that I just love. So yes, Rye Lane is at number 8. It's a great story, funny, and I love Rye Lane. Next up, at number 7, let's see, Roll Film. At number 7, we have Susie Searches, a movie that is extremely underrated and not talked about enough. This movie is about a young girl who's obsessed with crime novels and mystery novels, and just obsessed with solving murder mysteries. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I love this movie. It's again, like Rye Lane, following this young black girl who, you know, the film isn't focused on just her blackness. It's just following her, solving a crime, her family issues, or her own personal issues. That's the center of that. That's the forefront, not her just being black. So, but yeah, I love this movie. I love the character actors. You guys got to excuse me. I'm really bad with names. I'm great with faces, but names, they just escape me. But there's so many great actors in this movie. It's the one actor's in it is the guy from Hereditary, the brother, when his spoilers, when his sister, her head gets chopped off in the car and he's just sitting there. Him, I love him. He's great in this movie. But yeah, Susie Searches, the main actress, she's a standout. I love her. But yeah, it's a fun time, man. Just a cool little, what some call it a rom-com. I'm not sure I'll call it a rom-com, but there's some comedic elements in there, but I don't know. I would call it like a comedy mystery, maybe. I don't know, but it's a great film. Check it out. It's called Susie Searches, and it's at number 7 on the top 10 best films. What's at number 6? Let's see. Roll Film. That's right. I might have surprised you, but at number 6 is Sweetwater, about Nate Sweetwater Clifton during the 1950s. Now, why did this make it top 10? Well, again, I liked it, but it's a movie where I could not believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe that I wasn't aware of this. And what's that? Could you guys believe that there was a time when the NBA, the National Basketball Association, was all white, and black people, or they called us back in the day coloreds, the coloreds wasn't allowed to play in the NBA. That today, that would be fathomable for your modern NBA viewer. Like today, you got people who love Steph Curry, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. There's no way you can fathom the league without these guys. But there was a time in this country, not too long ago, where the very NBA was lily white. Like there was no person of color at all in there. So that struck me. I didn't know that. And I just couldn't believe that that was a reality. But once you do your history and you read and you understand how, prior to the 1960s, the Civil Rights Act, pretty much everything was segregated. I mean, you got Jackie Robinson with baseball, football, like pretty much anything that was white ran, white owned was segregated and off limits to melanated people. That's just the reality. But yeah, Sweetwater, this movie really struck me. I was tearing up at some parts just because of how they was treating Sweetwater once he finally made it in the NBA, how they was trying to switch up his game because he played very loose, or they would call it very street. He played like street ball, and that wasn't something that they was accustomed to. So they tried to change the way he played. But it's crazy, and it's amazing, man, how much he brought to the game. And then you fast forward to now, even the term dunk, like back then, in the film, it shows how like when he dunked the basketball, it was, that term came from him. The announcers was like, oh, what's that? I don't know. Let's call it a dunk. But amazing stuff. Stuff you just couldn't imagine living and being born in this time. So Sweetwater is very, very important film. Another one that's not talked about, that's extremely underappreciated, man. This movie is so important, and his story is so important. So that's at number 6, Sweetwater. We're going to move on to number 5. You guys stay tuned. Roll film. At number 5, yes, if you follow my channel, you probably already knew what was going to be at number 5. That is Beau is Afraid by the young director Ari Aster. Beau is Afraid. I saw this earlier in the year. I saw it in LA with the wife. And, when first impressions, I was like, okay, Ari, I kind of see where you're going. I'm kind of getting there. Came back home, saw it a second time, and I was like, okay, I'm getting there. Saw it the third time, and I was like, okay, I get it. The movie, it's it's a weird one. It's strange. I love the first half when he's in the hotel and things like that. But as a whole, it's very wild. It's very wacky. Joaquin Phoenix, he's gonna do his thing. But yeah, as a whole, I just loved how Beau, he's this big old mama's boy, and he's super dependent on his mom, and he's afraid to have sex and all these things. But it's a weird, wacky journey, and I don't know. I said it in a previous video. It's my favorite Ari Aster film. first it was um, Hereditary, but I really this one I don't know. It just it's long, but it's something about it. It's something about going on this journey with Bo that I just love. So Bo is Afraid at number 5. My least favorite Ari Aster film is Midsummer. I saw that in theaters and I almost fell asleep. I don't know why. It's just I'm not sure if it was the long daytime scenes. I don't know what it was, but that movie I just could not get behind it. That's my least favorite. But yes, Beau's Afraid at number 5 by the young, great Ari Aster. Yeah, not much to say about this one. I talked about this one a lot in our previous videos. So yeah, this is number 5. Beau's Afraid. Let's move on to number 4. You guys stay tuned. Roll film. The champ is here. The champ is here. That's right. At number 4, Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors. This is my favorite Creed film of the series. Creed, the first one, was good. It was good. Creed 2, good. Why is Creed 3 my favorite of the 3? Because there's no Sylvester Stallone. And I know that sounds crazy, but my biggest gripe with the Creed series from 1 and 2 was how whenever Michael B. Jordan, his back was against the wall, he had to fight back, it was like he always needed Rocky to win in the end or to get back on his feet. And I hated that. And I love how in Creed 3, there is no Rocky to lean on. It's him and his wife and his family and himself, and he pulls through. I love it. And I love that of the 3, this is the first one to be directed by Michael B. Jordan. Bravo. Michael B. Jordan, your directorial debut. Bravo, my man. Bravo. But yes, Creed 3 at number 4. I love this movie. I kept, pushing it to 2, 3, but I just like, nah, I think it's at 4. I think 4 is a good number. So I love this movie. I love the relationship between B. Jordan and Majors, how they have a history and a past. They're in a brotherhood. I love brotherhoods, man. I grew up, I had 6 brothers, so I'm big on the whole brotherhood, being a young man, and all that stuff. So the tough love stuff. So yeah, love this movie. Creed 3 at number 4. And we're gonna move on to number 3. You guys stay tuned, and yeah, let's roll film. Christopher Nolan has done it again with Oppenheimer. I wasn't looking forward to this movie when I first heard about it. I was like, this science guy, I don't care about that. But this movie was a big surprise. Um, it's not only a great movie, it's my favorite Christopher Nolan film. Over The Dark Knight, over, The Dark Knight Rises. This movie is my favorite Christopher Nolan film. I mean, it's just the editing, it's crisp, it's fast. I mean, for it to be 3 hours, it goes so well. The pacing is just amazing. It flows so well. The main actor, Cillian Murphy, great job. His portrayal as Oppenheimer is amazing. Um, I love this movie. This movie was number one on my list for so long, but then I kept seeing other movies, and I was just like, it's pushing it, it's pushing it, it's pushing it. But yes, at number three, you have Oppenheimer. I love this movie. The biggest standouts for me from this movie, the best scene for me was the scene when he goes to make that speech in that little auditorium, and he's like, he kind of blacks out and can't really form his words, and he just starts seeing these glimpses and this weird stuff in the crowd. Oh man, when I first saw that in IMAX and 70 millimeter, I was just in amazement. I was like, wow, this scene alone has so much emotional impact that I think of all of Nolan films that I've seen. I've never felt what I felt in that moment of probably of all his films he made. I've never gotten to that point emotionally with him. I mean, it was incredible. So yeah, Oppenheimer at number three. I love the movie. It's very controversial as far as the subject matter with the atomic bomb and the war and stuff like that. Politics. In the words of Scarface, "Volate, bunch of bullshit." So I won't go there. But yes, Oppenheimer, number three. We're gonna move on to number two. Guys, stay tuned, and yeah, let's roll that film. Yes, at number two, I can't believe it myself. You have Gojira, -1. Godzilla, man. I I was not looking forward to this movie, you know, and when me and the wife saw it, I was like, wow, this movie is incredible. The effects, how they utilize Godzilla, the story, the characters. I was literally caring for these characters. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And I felt also like this, what a time for it to come out. Like I felt like this was a great double feature with Oppenheimer. You see how how he was building the bomb, and the very bomb he built created this monster, Gojira. So this movie, man, it is really great. I love how they uh, they were very uh, particular when they used Godzilla. You know, they didn't overuse him. They kind of, picked their spots when to use him visually. It was like you can tell they were on a budget, but they knew how to use their budget. You can tell that they were very aware of their budget. So, oh man, I love this movie. I love the story. I love the characters. My favorite scene probably would have to be when Godzilla goes through I think it's Tokyo. I forgot the city, but he goes through and he just crushes through the buildings, and it's his first time, going nuclear when he has this little when his tail and everything goes up. Oh man, and he does his first little blast. Oh, amazing stuff. But yes, Godzilla at number 2. I love this movie. I love the story, and also love when it first comes on. Spoilers. I'm thinking they're gonna set it up, and we're gonna see what really, made Godzilla mad or whatever. It comes on, and he just come out of nowhere destroying shit. I'm like, wow. I don't think I've ever seen him like this. Like, amazing man, great movie. It's at number 2, and it's a movie that I would definitely have a double feature with Oppenheimer. So yeah, number 2, Gojira. Let's see what's number 1. What could be number 1? This is it. What's number 1 best movie of the year for me, for Sam? Stay tuned. Let's check it out. Let's roll that film. Yes, at number 1, The Holdovers. This movie, the music. It just sets a mood as soon as it comes on. It's just so, like, it doesn't make its presence like overly known. Like, hey, you see movies where it comes on and the title is just like bam, like this is the movie. Like, no, it's so quiet when it comes on, and it just makes its presence known in a very quiet and subtle way. I love this movie. I love the characters. I love how the film, what it's about, like not the message, but what the film's trying to say about like sacrifice and about how like, potential and believing when someone believes in you to do better, be better than them, you know, um, parents, fathers, it's just mothers, sons. I love this movie, man. I'm probably biased though because I was really close with my father, and this movie is just a very like father son type of vibe, But I love this movie. Um, I love the characters. I love Paul Giamatti. I love how he's so in the books because I love reading too. I love books, and I just love how he's so into reading and to learning. I just love that. And the young man, I can't tell you his name, but I did some research to say this film was his first film ever. Bravo, great job. His first actual film. That's really really good. So, bravo to him. And the sister, I believe her name is Divine. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names. And yes, I should have did research before this film. I mean, this review. But that sister, she did great as well. I loved her presence. I loved how, you know, I love how the director, Mr. Payne, how he showed her mourn and took her mourning seriously for her son, and how the other actors took the mourning seriously too, to mourn this her son, But yeah, I love the movie. I love the aesthetic. I love the 70s aesthetic. I love the music. I love the setting and the snow. Oh, it's such a great Thanksgiving, holiday, Christmas movie. It's just, I saw it twice in theaters. Um, both times with the wife, she didn't mind seeing it, and that's saying a lot because she's not like me. She doesn't like going to see movies 2, 3, 4 times. So the fact that she saw it twice and was okay with it, that says a lot too. So I love this movie. It's at #1 for the year for me. The Holdovers. And that's my list, man. That's 2023, the films I saw. I'm still going to see 4 more before the year is out. I plan to see American Fiction, um, The Iron Claw, Ferrari, and the Color Purple. So those 4 I'm going to watch, and that'll be it for the year. But these are the movies that made it on my top 10 for the year. You guys take care. Have a great new year, a safe new year, a beautiful time with the family. Spend time with your family. Because in the words of Mr. Don Corleone, a man can never be a real man if he doesn't spend time with his family. So spend time with your family and stay safe, man. And I will see you guys next year. And I'll keep sharing and we'll keep learning. And yeah, take care and good vibes only. Take care.